I can. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is afternoon here on the Western United States, and for some of you, it may be some other time, and that's all good because Global Chamber is all about the world and bringing people together, and primarily connecting Global Chamber members to opportunities anywhere they wish to grow. So, if you are a member and you have not filled in Globi and filled in the form, please do. That's an awesome thing to do because Globy, and we call her a her, Globy lets us know ideas that we hadn't thought of before and gives us all sorts of really ultimately very clever thoughts that we aren't as clever as Globy. So please do fill in Globy if you haven't, and if you it's been over a month, it's cool to refresh Globy and let her know more about who you're looking to meet, what kinds of events that you'd like to participate in, and that helps us understand you more and connects you more. Raphael is based in Las Vegas. He's got a background of very connected into Poland. And one of the really cool things is if you're Polish and you're an entrepreneur, landing in Las Vegas would be a really great thing because Raphael can help and connect. He also helps people from anywhere in the world connect as they come into Las Vegas. And so, Raphael, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah,
Who
thank you.
would you like to meet and how can we help? And I know you have a little bit of a presentation. The League of Opportunities is all about giving a little bit deeper dive for members of Global
Mhm.
Chamber. And so I think you've got about an 8-minute presentation, and we look forward to learning more.
Yeah, so I great to be here. Thank you for the introduction. I don't, I have just like a spoken presentation. I have not like a slides. I'm usually well enough like with talking. Um, yeah, it's great to be here. I'm working with Doug for a long time already. We did some common things in Las Vegas. My background is in IT, but since I founded with my dad a medtech company in like 2007, I'm more into business, and my ambitions were always global. So I very quickly started to acquire distributors globally and trying to enter US market. And US market, for those that are not kind of you know um, aware of that, is very specific to enter, right? If you are in the US, it's kind of obvious for you how the market looks like, but if you are from the outside, it's very tricky to enter. And it took us many years to figure it out, and kind of like as a part of our expansion to the US, I moved here. So I live in Vegas for 7 years already. After moving here, I got into investing, into mentoring. I started several other companies. So I'm kind of like serial entrepreneur. I mentor a lot. I work a lot with international companies, as Doug mentioned, and I support them like in entering. I'm not a consultant. I'm like a builder. So I have like a ecosystem built here, like a platform built here that helps companies set their first steps here. So it's kind of like a tool from entrepreneur to entrepreneurs. But something that I was missing when I was struggling with US market for years. Um, so I just wanted like to share this with you. I also like talk with like what can I share about what can I talk about like Las Vegas. So I think like interesting thing about Las Vegas recently and Nevada in general are great opportunities. Like this is like of opportunities, right? So I thought that I will tell you about opportunities I'm seeing recently here, and there's a big opportunity for healthcare companies actually. Nevada got a big grant to expand rural health. So healthcare for rural Nevada. They got like $190 million grant to support mainly healthcare providers, but also there's sort of grants for technology for IT companies that are working in healthcare. You know, like teleradiology, telemedicine, all the tools that can help remotely diagnosed patients. So everything that you can think about when it comes to supporting rural communities. We know we have always shortage of doctors, always shortage of medical staff. So anything that's in that subject, that will be very promoted in Nevada these days. And I think that's kind of like a good opportunity for all the medical companies that are looking to, to especially to make the first steps in on the US soil, or are already here, right? Or for companies in the US that are looking for new customers. Nevada can be a good place, I think, now when you are in healthcare department. Why for international companies? Because the first thing you are struggling with when you're entering this market, I know it myself, and I see it also from other companies that I work before and I work currently. The first thing you have to do is you have to prove that your product works in US. That's the first thing any startup, local startup, also has to do, right? Product market fit is one of the most important things for startups, for investors, and generally for your market success. If you don't have customers, how can you be successful? So this is all, as I said, like, this is a great opportunity for those companies that have new technologies, new products that are looking to enter US market or are already on the US market, but have something in the subject of medicine and anything around integrations and anything about improving connectivity, um, remote diagnostics, remote kind of like connections with doctors. That will be very, very supported for the next, I think, like 5 years. That's how long and each year Nevada will be getting like around $190 million for this growth. So that's one opportunity I see here. Other opportunities that is kind of growing and growing, and everybody's thinking about Vegas and Nevada in terms of entertainment, but remember we have 45 million people coming to Las Vegas, not on planes and cars, right? So it's like 45 million people. According to statistics, we have 24,000 different events. So it's a quite a big number. And what we are observing recently is, and also what city and county is kind of like promoting, is using Las Vegas as, I would call it, like your demo site. So if you have some products, if you have some things that can appeal to many customers, because remember, those people coming here, they are not only coming they are not coming to casinos only. They are coming to those trade shows. They are coming to different events. And what I like to share is this. Sometimes I go to the strip with my wife for lunch, and on this big telebeams, right, on these big screens, you can see, usual stuff, right? Promotions of different hotels, events, restaurants. But nowadays, it's like I can see software, like I can see like CRM software being promoted. I can see some electronic devices being promoted. I not even mention what is happening during CES, right? And all the new cool devices being promoted. So this is something that is being recognized, that all those millions of people coming here are businesses, are your customers, are your B2B customers, are your B2C customers. And there's a lot of opportunities when working with city and county to promote, to have like a kind of, I would call it like permanent exposure of your company, of your products to those people coming here. So that's another opportunity that I see. I don't know how much time I have, but I think I'm reaching the limit. But I'm happy to answer some questions. I
Okay.
wanted to give you some kind of like ideas and opportunities that are happening here.
Okay. No, that's great. And does anybody have any thoughts or questions? Anybody know any healthcare companies that should be in Las Vegas? Yeah, that funding that you mentioned, that's coming from the state of Nevada?
That's actually federal funding. Already, we already have that funding, and it's being implemented already. I think they already started expanding it. There are first tenders happening. So most of them going into care providers, right? But a lot of those grants are for IT, for example, for integration of different softwares, integration on
Okay.
different platforms, because that's kind of like when we have, because I'm also part of several forums here, like healthcare forum. So that's kind of like what is being kind of like reported by participants of the ecosystem, I would call it like this. They say that, okay, we have problems with connectivity, we have different systems, right? Different IT systems, and we need to help like making them work together. So it can be like services, like IT services, it can be like products. I see a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of like tenders already for some IT things.
Okay.
So it's very wide, but because it's a lot of money.
Thanks for sharing. Any additional thoughts from anyone? Certainly, Varun, you're in technology and very involved. Have you been working with any companies in Vegas yet?
You put me on the spot. I'll have to my short answer is nothing comes to mind, but it is very interesting that there's so much capital to be deployed. But nothing comes to mind immediately.
Okay. Yeah, Laura's been in well, what industry would that be? Fitness or health, wellness, maybe wellness in that industry. Have
Mhm.
you done any work in Vegas, Laura?
Um, I'm trying to I was actually trying to think as he was speaking. There's nothing that I can think of immediately that comes to mind that
Okay.
would be of assistance here. But I don't know if something pops up, then I will
Okay.
definitely volunteer it. Thank
For
you.
sure. And definitely, Raphael, Laura's looking for folks on the HR side of the
Mhm.
aisle that are looking to make improvements with the company. And she's a data expert and knows how to
Mhm.
implement ERP systems and things like that. So she's somebody actually that Varun should probably know as well because of the
Mhm.
companies, Varun, that you're working with. Connecting to Laura's going to make sense. That'll be a win-win. So we'll make sure that you guys get connected. Thank
Great,
you,
great.
Raphael, for sharing.
Yeah, like that's kind of like the top things I kind of thought about like for this meeting for to share some opportunities from my backyard. Yeah, but whenever I can, I will have something new. I will talk with you or Caesar to kind of like maybe uh, feature me once more so I can talk about it.
Had no idea about the healthcare side of it, so that's really great to know. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's really hidden, right? You really like like probably everybody on the call knows like very often like that's why you are also here, like part of this group. Very often there are things that you have to be in the right place in the right time to kind of hear about it
Yep.
because it is somewhere on the web, right? It is published somewhere on the web, but who goes there, right? Like actually, like it's like a very niche information, and I'm kind of like trying to do this kind of thing like in Nevada to kind of dig up those opportunities that are very special, right? That's also why I moved here originally 7 years ago, because I saw these opportunities offered by this ecosystem.
Well, thanks for sharing. We're going
Thank
to
you so
continue
much.
to go around the room, and I'm going to try Redima Brar because I know Redima, you're picking your daughter up. So I don't know if this is a good time or a little bit later is a good time. You were explaining to me a little bit about the timing, but I wasn't really sure. So if you can unmute yourself now, and if you're not available now, then I'll continue to go around the room to other people. And I just got off the phone with Redima, so she's got a really interesting business. She facilitates the design of buildings and construction industry with sourcing, very high-end sourcing of materials and products and furniture and things like that. And so she'll hopefully have a chance to chat. Oh, are you
Hi.
driving?
Yes, I am. I am. I have to leave literally. So I don't know if this is the right time, but you did it right. Hi everybody. I'm Ridhima Brar. I'm an interior designer based here in LA. I primarily work in residential and boutique hospitality. And this is just the year where I'm trying to look, diversify. And I have, various projects. I have procured furniture and other lots of other materials, natural stone, flagpoles, so many different options, that come into the, especially the boutique hospitality side of things. So I'm in this space between both design and providing materials as a supplier for some specific things. And so looking to expand that, further and get more involved with some of the local projects right here in LA.
And so you've done some really great work, and so is your dad.
Yes.
Her dad, what was it, 40 plus years in Kuwait and
Or yes.
sourcing from all over the world.
Yes, yes, yes. And they've officially moved here, and so they're with me. So I have some support from him as well. But yeah, yeah, yeah. That, he's here. He's also the similar space where, again, as a source of supplying. We have a lot of connections and contacts back in Turkey, in the Middle East, in India, to source raw materials, all related to construction, and bring over here. So we have special access to that. So if anybody is looking for things like that, if there are any developers, builders, what have you.
Okay. Are you familiar with QDI Surfaces by any chance from Turkey?
No, I'm not.
Okay, they're the number one travertine importer, but they've gone well beyond that. So they're actually, this week is their 30th anniversary. He's been the CEO, is a longtime member of Global Chamber, even before Global Chamber, has been a great supporter. During the last big recession in the U.S., he doubled down on bringing travertine in, and that everybody else was cutting back, and he increased. His family is in the stone industry in Turkey, and so that changed everything. And so he told the story, and he's actually going to be speaking again at Global Chamber in the next couple months. We're setting the date. He's finally agreed to do it. Really brilliant, knowledgeable about the stone industry and the surface industry, but also beyond that. So
Mm.
QDI Surfaces, if that's a company that you'd like to be connected to, let me know. More on the sourcing side rather than kind of where you want to be, but let me know.
Yeah, I will. I absolutely will.
Anybody have any questions or thoughts for Redima? Anybody involved in that industry at all, in the construction industry? So we just had a really great conversation. I had 4 different areas of introductions for Redima, including on the sports side as these teams come in, especially for the Olympics, getting the Olympic Village set up, the design of that, and getting involved in that is a really good fit for her. So things like that are going to be adaptive reuse of older buildings to new buildings and the materials that are involved in the design of that. That's also something that the Redeema is involved with. So if any of you are involved there or have connections there, she'd be happy to speak with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doug. I'll talk to you soon.
A pleasure. Good luck. Drive carefully.
I will. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, let's now go to. So we started a technology angle there. So Varun Kapoor of Avahi, thank you very much, Varun, for sharing today in advance. What would you like to share, and how can we help? I think you've got a presentation.
You guys see my screen?
We can see it. What an amazing offering that you guys had, and you've been members for a couple years. And I remember when you first jumped in a couple years ago, I was like, "Wow, this is an amazing future that someday we're all going to be part of." And someday is today at Honeywell. It's amazing. So you're still ahead of the curve. So please go ahead and share.
Yeah, thanks, Doug, and nice to meet you all. So to very quickly get started, I mean, I would love a show of hands of like who feels that AI is just moving too fast And every day there's something new. Every day we're sort of one step behind, and there's something else out there that, dude, I wish I had done it like this instead of doing it like this, right? So that's just a feeling that we have as a society right now. And AI is genuinely moving super, super fast. At Avahi, what we are is AWS Premier Tier partners. We can help companies like yourselves get started with AI on AWS for $0 out of pocket. So, with this sort of strategic partnership that we have, AWS pays us to build out a production workload, a Gen AI production workload for you on Bedrock. Bedrock is AWS's model store. So it's genuinely a fantastic way if in your companies you're again like the furniture company that was just Pridhima that you were just talking about. If you wanted to optimize the supply chain using AI, where you had different vendors give you different quotes before you sort of then collated that and forwarded that, AI could potentially help you there. The other gentleman that spoke about the offshore companies setting up onshore, AI could also theoretically help you there to identify the best legal structure, whether it's a Wyoming state or a Delaware C Corp, so on and so forth, right? So there's many places that AI can help. And this is a great way to get started. So AWS will pay us to work for you, right? And the way this works is that we set up a working session with you. My contact details are here, and I can paste them in the chat as well. But we work with you to identify a couple of different use cases in your business. We take those use cases, we define it as a statement of work. We take that to Amazon. Amazon typically says yes or no to funding that statement of work. Assuming they do fund it, they will pay us, and our engineers will deploy all of this for you. Everything that we do belongs to you. In the event we do a terrible job, there's no harm, no foul, and you can walk away from what we built. There's no obligation to run what we built. It's not a printer and cartridge model. There really are very few strings attached for this bucket of funding. It does genuinely get better that after this 25 grand, we can speak to Amazon to leverage an additional $100,000 to really take that proof of concept one level up. Again, all of this can be $0 out of pocket to you. So it's genuinely a resource that I feel as a business owner one should use. To give you guys a little bit of context about me and myself, my background is engineering and entrepreneurship. Started a bunch of different companies, many of which did not work out, but two of which did. The two successes that I have had, one was a grocery delivery app in Spain, Italy, and Portugal. The business model was delivering groceries in 10 minutes or less. We sold it to a Turkish company that was a decacorn, but not doing very well, and then was acquired by Uber in the Middle East. The other company I had was B2B SaaS, integrating WhatsApp into Shopify. We sold that to a Sequoia-backed company in India. And now I work for Avahi. And what Avahi does is this $0 out-of-pocket proof of concept for you. As a business owner at these two companies, this offer would have been fantastic for me, right? It's a free mistake. And I think as a business owner, you're trying 100 different things. You know, one is going to work. You can give us one to fail for you, right? We can try a few different things, and one of those things might work. Great resource. That's the spiel. If you've got any questions, would love to hear. We'll leave you with this. Feel free to reach out on email or connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to help.
Fantastic. What a great idea and concept. And how long has the company been doing this with AWS?
Yes, the company's been around since 2020. This generative AI bucket of funding is about 3 years old. I do feel it will not last forever, but it's still available. I would think this calendar year is when this wonderful offer will end. So I would genuinely encourage people to leverage it while it's available.
Amazing. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts about this?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
There's no surprise. So first of all, I think it sounds really great. I'm curious in terms of building the agent. So once the agent is built, in terms of maintenance, is that you said that you own the agent as the consumer? Is that right? or
Yeah.
is there
All
continue?
IP, all source code, everything belongs to you. We'll
Okay.
deploy it on your cloud. Again, like we won't set it up in an extremely expensive way to catch you from behind or any of that. If what we build doesn't work, you don't have to deploy it. But everything is yours, right? It's deployed on on your cloud. In terms of maintenance, we will give you a proper knowledge transfer. If you've got an engineering team, we'll hand over to your engineering team so they can maintain it.
Okay. And then in terms of these agents, are there any are there any integrations or things like that where you could actually connect them to other technologies like an HRIS or like a Snowflake or something
Absolutely.
like that?
We were just doing a thing with Bamboo HR, and
Yeah.
yes, short answer is yes, right? You can definitely programmatically speak to other third-party software.
Okay. And then from a security standpoint, it looks like I saw SOC 2 and something.
So
It's a
Avahi is top two, and AWS is definitely like one of the most secure cloud infrastructures out there.
Mhm.
Inherit all that security posture from AWS when we built for you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for indulging my questions. I appreciate it.
No, it's yeah, happy to would love to chat, Laura. It's genuinely a good offer.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank
What's the best way when if someone has an idea or a thought or knows someone that could use this, do they just contact you, Varun?
That works. I'm happy to drop my email into the chat right now as well, though I don't know if this goes to everyone or not, but that's my email. By all means, reach out and we can set some time.
Okay, and the QR code brings you in to set up a 30-minute discovery call.
The QR code links to my LinkedIn.
Oh,
I was not sure how this would play out, but either one is fine.
I see. I got you.
Yeah.
The 30-minute discovery call is that with you then?
That's with me. That's with me.
Perfect. Okay. How long have you been with the firm now?
So I have been with the firm. So after my last exit, I did like so. These were the two successes. I did start something else that was a complete failure. But Avahi was helping me in that company that I started. And they did a really good job. So I jumped ship. I shut down that company and joined Avahi full time in September of last year.
Amazing. Fantastic. Where are you based?
I'm based in DC.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you for sharing. And it sounds like you put your information in the chat area. Thank you. And appreciate you sharing. Jeff, I think you might be next. And I'd love to hear from all of you, but let's talk to Jeff. Jeff, you were actually a scheduled speaker, and so you'd spoken with Cesar about that. You've been very involved with global trade. What's the latest, and what would you like to share today?
Well, the latest is this. I typically work on getting companies that have been sourcing products in China and getting them into Latin America. That is fairly much because of the number of changes in tariff regimes in the last year, and a number of those are pending right now. That is pretty much very, very dormant. Companies that are going to move have moved, or they've learned to adjust to the tariff. So for right now, that's pretty dormant. We have
Okay.
a number of things underway in the U.S. which will change all of that by the 1st of August. We have what we call 301 investigations on 15 countries, including plus the European Union. We have a renegotiation of USMCA. And so any company that's dealing between importing into the US is frozen in place, in my mind, for at least the next 90 days. Having said that, what we are seeing is a couple of longer range trends. The Chinese, if you will, have endured tariffs with the US for a long time now, 7 years. And they are actually moving and building factories in Mexico in a major way. In the past, they've been responsible for maybe 2 or 3% of foreign direct investment in Mexico. That has gone up by a factor of 10 in the last 6 months. So they are actually coming. I think that means some interesting things for lowering product costs, and obviously they're avoiding tariffs. And what my company does is we look at where can we get a low-cost product. Typically, that had been China, and I've worked in China for 25 years. We are moving companies out of China to Vietnam. We're moving them into Mexico, into Colombia. We are heavily involved with lowering the cost of manufacturing in Mexico because, quite frankly, the Mexicans are very terrible at their inputs to the factories, very efficient factories, but they buy materials at a higher cost because they're not so vertically integrated as China. So we're working actively in India, we're working actively in Dubai, actively in Vietnam, and actively in China at helping the Mexican companies import components that they will go ahead and put in a very complex product. So I did want to ask the audience in general, or the attendees in general, this question. What is China's largest category of exports to the world? Just anybody speak up. What do you think that product category is?
Product category.
I mean, is plastics a category? Just like.
Well, plastics would be a category, and that's about number 3 on the list. Well, thank you for volunteering. So, do you have one, Doug?
Presumably, it's some sort of a manufactured product. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, manufactured. I mean, they're basically a manufacturing economy.
Yeah.
So the category is small consumer appliances. If you go in your kitchen, a blender, the coffee pot, the toaster, the air fryer, there's a number of things. If you go in the garage, power tools and those sorts of things. That's the largest category that China manufactures and exports globally. And so that's a surprise because those are things that most countries could make if they could crack through some of the componentry. And the componentry that we're working on and bringing into Mexico are lithium ion batteries. China has kind of a near monopoly on those. There are other countries that make those. They're made in Germany, they're made in the US, they're made, but not at the scale and not at the low cost that is done in China. Small motors. If I look at that blender or that mixer, there's a small motor in that. China has a captivity on most of that manufacturing. But by the way, India and Vietnam make those same componentry. So it's a question of where you get it from. Packaging. Mexico is fairly expensive in packaging because the substrates, the materials that are printed on and folded and cut and all those sorts of things generally are from North American forest. The factories we're dealing with in Dubai and the Middle East and India are sourcing that board from Siberia, China, and Indonesia. So that board is half the cost that's available in North America. So we're able to take between the combination of those, let's say small electronics, lithium ion batteries, and packaging materials, lower the product cost by 20 to 25% under anything a Mexican manufacturer can go do.
Okay.
So it's a real interesting shift.
Given that expertise that you have and that knowledge you have, who would like to meet you? Who are you helping in that scenario? The Whirlpools of the world, they've probably got it all figured out.
Oh, Whirlpool has it figured out, but Whirlpool has it figured out, let's say in white goods, like a large refrigerator. But if I look at a dorm room for a college person, that little refrigerator, they don't make those. So that kind of thing in terms of when I say small scale appliances, that's a major opportunity, and no one makes those currently in North America.
Okay, so you would like to meet people that could potentially be interested in doing that, and then you would help them.
Yeah, we would help them find a factory. We would help them engineering-wise, product spec-wise, qualify the factory, and ensure that they had a globally competitive cost.
Okay, so one company that operates in Mexico that we know pretty well because they're members is MTD Products. So they make, a variety of different things. Is that too large of a target for you?
I don't know them.
Okay, they make like Cub Cadets and Weed Whackers I forget their variety of different brands. They have I think 7 or 8 kind of name brands. Cub Cadet is one of the ones I know because I remember buying a Cub Cadet years and years ago. My father-in-law worked at International Harvester, so that one meant something to me. But there's a
Yeah.
variety of products like that. So if
Yeah,
you're interested in
Polaris is
meeting,
generally made in Mexico, so to be somewhat related to Cub Cadet. So the capability is there. But
okay,
the interesting part that you mentioned is like a weed whacker, because that would be the kind of product that's generally not made in North America.
okay,
Smaller, less expensive, has a motor and other things, power cord, or it may be lithium ion. It may be that
okay,
knowing that factory group would be great,
okay,
knowing those companies in the US or elsewhere, because we are helping other countries. We're helping a company in New Zealand right now. We're working on a company in Croatia right now. We're working on relocating some factories and building factories that are owned by Indian folks that live in India today. So
okay.
it's a broad spectrum of things we go do. We're a manufacturing expert and we build out supply chain. So the combination of those two is where we work in that. So we're very product related, very engineering related, because many companies have been buying and really don't understand the technical aspects of how to make the product.
Interesting. Very good. Does anybody have any questions for Jeff? It sounds like you have a team distributed here and there.
I have about 20 engineers full time in Mexico. I have two partners in Vietnam. I have two in India. We are doing a little bit of reverse. I typically haven't been into the selling of a factory's products, although I have been a CEO and I have 6 Vendor of the Year awards, a little company called Walmart in the US. I can go do that. We are looking at exporting some products that are made in Mexico into the Middle East, uh, to the GCC area in particular. And we've signed up a couple of companies. So we're going to go reverse a little bit about with products that have been shaken down, proven, well adapted. If you take a brand like Dyson, very well known, high quality brand, that's in the Middle East right now and doing quite well.
Wow, interesting. Very cool. No, that sounds good. Lots of ideas on that. So I'll circle back with Cesar on that. Cesar might be in the call, but he just wasn't able to help facilitate today.
Sure.
Um, thank you very much. Anything else before we end the call? Let's go to Laura Fredrickson. She's a new member, and she's
There she is.
there she is. Yeah. And what would you? I know we didn't. I don't think Cesar reached out to you to present, but nonetheless, is there anything that you would like to share in terms of anything that's new in your world, or any help that you would like to have?
Oh, thank you. No, I'm on the spot now too, so that's okay. No, I just well, okay, I wasn't expecting to speak. Um, I am actually just continuing to build Alravia HR, and I'm continuing to meet a lot of new people. And essentially, what my company does, if you're not familiar, I've been in this industry and in the HR field for almost 30 years, and I had established Alravia HR to ensure that people's people strategy and HR technology and AI strategy was aligned with the business strategy. So I help companies that either have an HR department or they don't, and they need assistance with, with governance, with selection of HR and AI tech. Which Varun, this is why I was asking you about your solution as well, because I'm very interested in AI. I've been pursuing continually that knowledge since for the last couple of years. So that's pretty much what I do. And that is, I'm looking to meet small to medium-sized businesses that have that kind of need, that know that there is something that they need to fix inside their business, whether it's their technology or their people strategy, and they need HR executive level experience to help them get there. So,
With a preference to the Phoenix in particular than the Southwest.
thank you. Yes, right now, it's interesting. I actually had a company that was interested in speaking to me from New York. So I at this juncture, I'm just saying North America.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, whoever it is that, I mean, I will put my information in the chat too really fast if you are interested, or you can certainly connect with me on LinkedIn. But yeah, I'm open to conversations all over North America for right now.
Sounds good. Mohammed, I don't know whether you're able to speak, but it's very late there. And so definitely want to give you the opportunity thank you for participating today. You must be going through a sleepless night, or I know you're always wanting to integrate in. Mohammed's in Turkey, and he does a lot of trading all over the world, and definitely someone that Redima probably should be aware of and be familiar with. And so I'll make sure that that connection gets made. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Doc. Yeah, you are correct. It's almost 3 a.m. So uh, I slept after this evening for a few hours. Now I am looking to activities. So this is the first time this late with you. Anyway, hi everybody. Thanks for this opportunity. I am Mohammed from Iraq. I am in global trade, specialized uh, in exporting from Turkey to Iraq. And one of the huge updates, we have a government now, although it's a half government, but finally they have accomplished it. So businesses start to continue. So it's a half good news. So and yeah, that's it. I am involved with representing companies in Iraq. Right now, I am representing a digital transformation company, a Turkish digital transformation company, and we are meeting with large institutions and ministries. And yeah, this is it.
That sounds great. Congratulations on your continued activity in navigating all of the things that are going on, and thank you for coming in. What time did you say it was there?
It's almost 3 a.m.
Okay. And have you slept yet, or what's your situation?
No, no. I woke up 10 o'clock and I'm working on one of the projects right now. So, yeah,
Wow.
work is almost 24/7.
Okay. And it's Friday there. So when are you expecting to go to sleep?
Yeah, this is a good question because my son has to go to school in 4 hours. I don't know what to do. So, yeah, this is the situation. If it's sleep or not, we will see.
Okay. Are you driving him to school, or what's?
I have a driver.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So he's not relying on you being awake.
No, no, no. I don't rely on myself in the future. So, yeah. And tomorrow, looking forward for tomorrow. I'm not sure if you will participate with our social media. What you say was course that we are taking as a global chamber.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that's right. You are part of that. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. And
Yeah.
so it's been great. So what is that? 17 hours from now. So definitely get some sleep between now and then. That's Bernard
Yeah,
Ablola of
yeah,
Global Chamber who's doing
yeah.
that. And tomorrow we have the second part of this. It's
Right.
thinking about 11 hours. Next week we have some really interesting ones. And actually Bernard is part of a marketing sales combination event that we're doing at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. Bernard and several other speakers talking about marketing and sales and how to do that globally. I think that's going to be a great conversation. Also, next week, we have a USMCA that came up earlier with Jeff, a USMCA conversation about where that's going and how to prepare for it. That's on Thursday. And then a World Trade Month for Global Chamber is this month. It's a big event on the 28th with some key speakers, exporters, and importers, and two people on our global board, Dr. Sanjeev Kagram and Francis Tesmer. And they have both, they're globally iconic, extraordinary leaders, and they'll be talking about trade, where it stands, what we should be thinking about, and we'll be covering all 22 areas, market segments that Global Chamber covers across the organization around the world. So thank you, everybody. Does anybody, before we leave, does anybody have any final comments? Something that you forgot to say? Something that you'd like to leave us with? I'll just no pressure, but just in case anybody has something, please feel free to go ahead. Jeff, anything from on your side that you would like to share that you forgot to mention?
No, not really.
Okay.
Again, if anybody needs help with trying to lower the cost of product, we may or may not be able to help them. So reach out and we'll see where we go.
Super. Varun, anything coming up that we should be aware of? Any events that you're doing, or just, anybody that we know, definitely funnel them into you.
Yeah, no events, nothing like that. There's always a new AI model, but please reach out. Would love to help you guys.
There is always an AI model. Absolutely. Laura, were you at the manufacturing event yesterday?
I was not. I was actually on site with a client.
Okay. And we had the big Phoenix event yesterday with Mayor Gallego, which was just spectacular. So
I saw that on LinkedIn. I was very sad to have missed it.
yeah, that was a good one. And so we had a few free tickets already too. But being on site with a client is definitely a good thing. So probably a paying client, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Those are important. So keep up the good work. Mungwi, thank you for joining, and Terry as well. And then if I've missed anybody, thank you for attending. Oh, there's somebody else. Oh, Demetrius Evans. Oh, how are you? Let me see if I can get you up. Whoops. Let's see. Demetrius will be joining. Oh, okay. That's cool. Hey, Demetrius. How are you?
Hi there.
Good to see you. So
Looks like I missed a lively discussion.
we're just ending the call, but whenever you're in the room, it brightens our day. And so,
Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you, Doug. Good to see everyone. It's finally warming up in Chicago, just in case you wondered. It took a while for us to get there, and I hope you had a great discussion. And I know that trade month is going fabulous here.
cool. Oh, that's great. Lots going on.
A lot of stuff.
Jump into this meeting tomorrow, part 2, and then the sales marketing on Monday. Some great speakers there. Next, the 21st is the USMCA discussion, and then the week after that is our World Trade Month. And we actually have World Trade Month every month for the rest of the year. So we have 8 regions, 8 more months to go. This one being one of the 8, and so we're doing North America. And next month is GCC. And so one of the main speakers is going to be our Global Chamber Executive Director in the UAE. And so, Jeffrey, that might be somebody, unless you've met him already, Ayman, and his brother Adel. They're extraordinary, longtime leaders within the region, connected to everybody. And Ayman is actually coming back over to the US. We had him speaking last year in Boston and New York. He spoke in Vancouver at Global Chamber Vancouver, and next year, or this year in November, he's coming over for Las Vegas. And that one's somewhat random, but we have him scheduled for the Bay Area and Los Angeles coming up in the next few months. And being so well connected, just a great resource for the Global Chamber Network. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your morning. Mohammed, get some sleep, please. And thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Demetrius, for jumping in. We need to circle back, by the way, Demetrius. The meeting that I had with the fellows that you set up with the International Trade Association of Greater Chicago, those guys.
Richard, yeah.
That was an amazing meeting.
Was it? Oh,
Yes.
oh, good.
I really